Okay, so apparently I didn't record this the first time. So this is my entry for Glen Kellaway's 100 subs contest. I forget if there was an actual title to this contest, or to do with the festival maybe, but the whole contest, yeah, for 100 subs. So Glen he joined a VC fairly recently in the last few months. I know he's a subscriber of mine. Um, so just shout out to Glen, and yeah, much deserved 100 subs. Yeah, so he's seen quite a few of the greats. So I know he's talked a lot about some of the concerts he's seen. Like he's seen all the greats, Zeppelin, Hendrix, and all that. But yeah, so for his contest, he's chosen to do like kind of throw a festival, or I guess it's just more of a live show, I guess. So choose an artist, alive or dead, that you'd like to see, and create a set list. So I've chosen David Bowie, someone I've never seen, and of course, too late now. Yeah, so back especially in the 90s and the 2000s, so like if somebody was a little too popular, I usually just didn't go. And I think I kind of had that attitude for a while because I just didn't like where the record industry was going at the time. And yeah, a lot of regrets. I regret passing up Ramones and Bowie and Iggy and all these people I really would love to see. Iggy, I probably have a chance if he tours again anytime soon. But yeah, here's hoping. So yeah, big Bowie fan. If you've never watched my channel, so it comes up a lot. Probably the artist I've listened to the most, but never seen him live. And so I've created a shorter set list. I don't want to bore you guys. So what I would start with is station to station. Nice little build. So yeah, so it kind of builds up to that crescendo. Yeah, so from his coked out, Thin White Duke period, and kind of appropriate for the times with everything going on in the States too. And then I take it back in time a bit, a little more of a deep cut, and go with Memory of a Free Festival. So the story with this was at the time Bowie was or just out of his art school. So I guess back in the day, UK art school is kind of where you got put if you didn't fit anywhere else. So a lot of musicians went to art school, basically. So yeah, he took to that art school, but yeah, so it's off of this album. This is not the original artwork. I want to say it was possibly self-titled in its original version, but yeah, it closes out this album. So Memory of Free Festival. So the story was that yeah, this is kind of during Bowie's hippie stage. So he wanted to throw a hippie festival that was free. I think he was inspired by Woodstock or something similar. And so he threw the festival, but I think very few people showed up. So he was very bummed out about it. So he wrote a song. So interesting biographical song there. So I think a few of the songs on here are biographical, saying those ex-girlfriends and such. Then I'd move on to go a little bit further in time to Diamond Dogs off the album by the same names. And then get a little more power with Be My Wife off of Low, and Heroes off of Heroes. So we're in that Berlin period. And then I go back a little bit to Ziggy era, Moon Age Dream, and then go back just a little bit more to Life on Mars. And then for the eighth track, I would go with Lazarus. So his goodbye song. Okay, that would be appropriate. And for a little encore, I'd bring on Iggy Pop on vocals for China Girl. So big hit for Bowie, but of course he wrote that originally for Iggy. And I actually prefer the Iggy version, so I would have Iggy on vocals and have Bowie on the keyboard there, as I believe was done in the studio. I could be wrong there, but he definitely scored on that before. And so some shout outs was the last part. So people with less than 100 subs. So I want to call attention to Sean Cecilia. He's been a longtime subscriber of mine. He shows a little bit more left field stuff, a little more like noise artists and hardcore and such. And he does focus a lot on 45s as well. So he always shows some interesting stuff that really doesn't get any other people showing it. So I'll try to put these in the links. And then another person I wanted to shout out, I'm not sure if he's exactly part of the vinyl community, but he certainly fits in, is DJ Kendo. I think he subscribes to me, so he's done a couple comments. So he does some. He's I guess a radio personality, and he has his own. I guess it's pretty new, but he has a pretty new thing going where he's in his kitchen, he's cooking, and he discusses an album. Like, should you listen to it or not? And gives a little background of the album and the artist and so on. There's a very interesting channel. I've been trying to get through some of his older stuff. I don't think he has a ton of stuff up there yet, but yeah, very interesting channel. So hopefully that one grows. So, yep. So big congrats, Glenn, for the 100 subs. Much deserved. Probably you're around 200 now. I haven't checked recently. And yeah, sorry I didn't get this done earlier. I think I'm still good. I think you got another week or two on the contest. So everyone have a great weekend and take care. Maybe I'll do another video or two after I have to put my shower door back on and kind of think through how much regrounding I want to do. Stupid crowds. All my channels. I'm just going to do a channel about grouting. Take care, everyone.